Hey, how's it going? Seth here. I wanted to show you some quick tricks in the land portal on how you can filter your lists and very quickly and easily exclude the wrong properties from your list. The ones that you know you're not going to want to buy, the people that you don't even want to waste your time talking to. A lot of data services like this can kind of do this, but not to the extent that the land portal can, because the land portal was designed specifically for land investors. And if you've got any experience using other data services, you know that that alone makes the land portal very unique, because most data services don't really care that much about land investors. We're kind of an afterthought. They focus more on house investors and other types of properties. The land portal is very unique and different in that regard. So let me just quick show you what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you do want to follow along, we got an affiliate link to the land portal. Just go to REtipster.com/land portal, or you can go ahead and scan the QR code on the screen and get started that way. But once you're in your account, all you got to do is go up here to filtered search. So let's say we're looking for properties in, I'll just pick a random county here in Minnesota. We'll see how this goes. Land on Washington County, not even sure where that is. And we're going to say, first off, we're looking for vacant lots because we're land investors. Makes good sense. And some of the normal filters that you'll normally find on other data services are ones like this, where you can filter by acreage. Let's say anywhere from 2 to 40 acres. And you can do this out of county, out of state owners. So a lot of times property owners that don't live anywhere near their property tend to have more motivation because the property is out of sight, out of mind. And then down here, if you wanted to get more specific about the land uses, like, residential or commercial or industrial, whatever, you could do that if you wanted to, or you could just look for anything that's a vacant lot. That's fine too. But some of the more unique filters you can use here, both for the ones that you do and you don't want to target, is, for example, this road frontage filter. This is a filter that I've not seen on, I don't think, any other data services that have this, and also the mapping capabilities that the land portal has, where you can say, I only want properties that have X number of feet of road frontage in front of them. If you're a land investor, you know the importance of road access. It's just hugely important. It makes a big difference in terms of what that property is worth and what it can be used for. Even the amount of road frontage can make a big difference, especially if you're subdividing. Now, another thing with vacant land properties is that, surprisingly, a lot of vacant lots out there are landlocked, which means there is zero road frontage. You literally can't get to it, which means the thing is effectively useless, because it's, might as well be on the moon or something, because you can't get to the thing legally. So you could say, I only want the ones that are not landlocked. So if it's landlocked, no, don't put it on my list. Or you could even say, I want to only target the ones that are landlocked. If you have some, oddball strategy where you want to intentionally find these ones for the purpose of putting an easement to it or something like that, you could do it that way too. Or you could just say, I don't care. Either way is fine. But just the ability to say that is a really big deal for land investors. And it's not a common thing you'll see in a lot of other data services. So I'm going to say no to this. And there's also this stuff with FEMA coverage. So I believe I've seen this on DataTree and some others. But if you wanted to say, I only want properties that either are not in a flood zone at all, or properties that only have this percentage of them covered in a flood zone area, that's a big deal too, especially if you plan to build anything on that property. Knowing that it's not in a flood zone can really have a big impact on property insurance costs or flood insurance costs specifically, if you need it at all, and then if so, how much it costs, that kind of thing. It kind of ties in a lot to the buildability of that property. And not that it would make it not buildable, but if you did build something on it, that future owner would have just a built-in added expense if it's in a flood zone. So just knowing that it's not in a flood zone can be really helpful. Also, wetlands coverage. It's a very similar thing, but actually even more important, because with wetland areas, in most cases, you just can't build in wetland areas, period, unless you jump through all kinds of hoops. It's just a huge hassle to have a wetland area on a vacant lot, whether it covers the entire thing or a portion of that thing. So if you just wanted to say, hey, I don't want any properties that have any wetlands on them, or I only want properties on my list that I know at least 50% of that property is not covered by wetlands, that kind of thing, you can specify that here. Now, there's other pretty useful things here too. So for example, a lot of times when I'll pull lists like this, sometimes I'll see like a church in there, or a bank, or a cemetery, property owners who I know I am never going to do business with. They just don't fit the profile of the type of motivated seller that I know I'm looking for. So if you wanted to just exclude any property owners that have certain words in the name, you could do that. So for example, church, can add that to the list, or cemetery, or bank, whatever words you want to put in there, you can do that. If you're an experienced land investor, you probably know full well the types of people on your list that you see that you just never end up doing business with. Whatever those names are that you don't want to waste your time with, just put them in here and it'll take it off your list from the get-go. We can also go up here to these advanced filters and see a lot of other information that we can filter by as well, which can be pretty useful. And this is what you'll typically see in something like Data Tree, where there's just this massive list of things you can filter by. And there's a lot of other options here as well, as you can see. So if you want to give the land portal a try, REtipster.com/land portal. That's the REtipster affiliate link. There's a lot of other stuff I can show you here, but I want to just kind of break this up into smaller, more bite-sized-ish videos. But again, just some super useful filters that I haven't seen in most other data services out there. So be sure to check it out. If you want to check out some of the other videos I've made explaining other things you can do with this, check out these right here. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you next time.